Raps just finished the home and home just now, the second of the home and home down in Orlando. And when I think of Orlando, one of the first things that pops in my head is not Disneyland, it's not beaches, it's none of that. It's retired gangsters and wise guys, because it's like the snowbirds. They all come from down up here and they fly down there. Whether they were hard working retirees or just, like I said, retired gangsters and wise guys and blah blah blah. They all find themselves down there drinking pina coladas poolside. So I was thinking, oh, what could I do with the wise guys? So I thought, you know what? Let me look up some wise guys and find a few quotes. So I looked up Jimmy Hoffa. And he's a real wise guy. He was the labor union leader, served as the president of the International Brotherhood of the Teamsters from 1957 to 1971. So I looked up a couple quotes, and here's some we can start this episode on. Here's a quote from the great Jimmy Hoffa. "We never had any silk sheets in our family." That one killed me. And one more. "You should run from a knife and rush a gun." Welcome everybody to the Sports Ethos Toronto Raptor Podcast, and I'm your host, Mr. L. Hoopo. That's Hoopo. Oh no! And we got A.Rod, the A-R-O-D, and Mr. Max Profit. You better pay me. And like I said, we're gonna be a couple of wise guys here down in Orlando. So let's go. What's going on, boys?
Chilling.
Man, I like that one. Run from a knife and rush a gun.
A gun. Rest in peace, the great Jimmy Hoffa.
Jimmy
I'm a
Hoffa.
union guy, so he's a hero to all us union guys.
Oh, man, yeah. He had this one right here. He said, "Don't let any man in your cab, your home, or your heart unless he's a friend of labor."
Hey, well said. Well said.
Yeah, exactly. All right, boys. So, yeah. Home and home with Orlando. Right away, right off top, Friday night, Raps lost it 113 to 103 in Toronto to the Magic. And today they just let it go again, 111 to 96 in Orlando. So let's put these two games together, this home and home, and put one word on that. Stomp it, stamp it, and sign it and put it in the mailbox. What do you got, boys?
Differences. And I ain't talking genuine.
There's
a clear difference between Orlando and the Raptors, and it's not just standing, places in the East. It's more of just when you watch these guys play. I said last pod, do not watch Orlando Magic play.
No.
Do not bring somebody to watch Orlando Magic play. I still stick by that, but I will say this: they are so much more organized and cohesive than the Raptors.
I wrote that down. That's
and
crazy.
It's just like. It's like night and day. Raptors look like a bunch of dudes just thrown out there just to go see who's good, who's not, who can make a couple plays. Orlando looks like they actually have a game plan and they're serious about it.
Yeah.
And then also I asked, please don't let Jalen Suggs, go nuts. He did first game.
Tongue was out.
I mean, he did whatever he wanted to. And you know what? I think it was partly because he hates the Raptors for passing up on him. And the other thing is, too, like, he was playing Abaji, and when he played, in Gonzaga, he ended up playing Abaji in the first game they had there, right? And they were playing over in, I think it was, like, Bahamas or something. And he went nuts in that game against Abaji. So, just it was kind of like a little deja vu.
A little remix. Okay, differences. And now I hear Genuine in my head now. Classic, his first album, no, The Bachelor. All right. Max P, hit me. What do you got?
Let's see. Ramsey, another pretty good dunk.
I like it. Yep.
He's a leaper.
He is a leaper.
He's a leaper. We need to campaign for this guy to get in the dunk competition next year.
I'm down for that, man.
But Toronto needs to get back in the dunk competition and save this thing. You know what I mean?
I love how we're all just like, fuck the season. Let's talk about next year's dunk comp.
Yeah, let's do it.
Throwing some random guy in there.
Ramsey, let's start it now. Let's start the push now. Ramsey for the dunk contest next year. Let's start it. All right.
And I seen Grady D, Kansas Slim. With a very nice
Kansas Slim now.
With a very nice pull-up jumper, real smooth. Like the kid got all his fundamentals he's going to be a good one. Hopefully, he hits the
is.
gym a little bit. Um, let's see how. That's what the test I use for some of these young guys is like how quickly do they get their physique up to par. It kind of shows me how serious they are. Like you've seen Ant-Man get his physique up to par like right away. You know,
he did. Yeah, yeah.
so
I like it. I'm with you with the Ramsey. I'm with you with Grady. You see that picture at the end of the game with Anthony Black
crazy,
and Grady Dick? Black Dick.
crazy.
Come on, man.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious and super pause and super.
Everything.
It's everything. It's
There's a lot going on there.
Uncomfortable and funny at the same time. That's the best kind of comedy, I guess, right there.
Yeah, it was funny because when I first saw it, I didn't laugh. I just kind of looked at it. I was like, hey, my word is, it kind of goes on what you both are saying, but I think it was in the first game on Friday that Grady Dick was the longest standing Raptor on the court at that point with that team Friday.
Wow.
Like right now.
That's how many.
Yeah. So then you look at Orlando. Their team is on the complete opposite side of the spectrum. They have made the least amount of moves with their roster out of the entire NBA. They have so much cohesion. They know each other. Jeff Weltman hasn't made any changes. It's the same guys except for the guys they've drafted and the rookies. So it's just a completely two sides of the table with these two teams. You got one team who doesn't know, the middle names of guys, and the other team, the guys know their middle names of their kids. You know what I mean? So it's pretty wild. And just a note, Joe Ingles, I just cannot believe he's still in the NBA. He looks like he's the guy who works at the front desk at the Y. Like he before he was kind of jokey, like, but now he's like, I don't know how he's still getting paid, man. He's hitting shots still, which is crazy, but anyways, that kind of threw me off seeing him out there hitting shots. He just looks soft and fluffy, you know what I mean? Anyways, you guys got any notes from either of those games, or just in general encapsulate anything, or what do you got? Nothing.
Nada. I just want to get past these games, man.
I know.
We're still on track to not win 30. I was telling a client this morning, I'm like, listen, man, I said this shit like 2 weeks ago.
You did.
3 weeks. I said it in the beginning of the season. After, you remember the Minnesota game, the very first game, you were like, oh, these guys look free, they look happy. I was like, yeah, it looks good. They did. But they do not look good. And then shit just spiraled, man.
Yeah, because now we're in the other race, right? There was the race to get into those last playoff spots. Now we're in the race to get to those draft picks. Now we're in the other race with Utah and with the Wizards and these guys. It's a wild thing when you're in the bottom of the NBA. Like we're like in the lost world of the NBA. Nobody pays any attention to us Raptors and Wizards and Hornets and.
It's like the lost and found at my daughter's school when there's just that one toque that just never gets took home.
Just never gets took home. That one mitten. That one
mitten. One rusty mitten. All right, let's get out of that, man, because I don't even like Florida. They got what is it? When I was looking up a little bit about Florida, this and that, I already knew, but they have their governor DeSantis, who was running for president. He's out of the race now, but he's the one who said, he goes, yeah, we're gonna go to war with Mexico. We're gonna shoot them at the border. You know what I mean? Like, who says shit like that? It's just crazy. I thought of like the difference between America and Canada right there. Like, you never, well, I don't want to say never, but I have to this point I've not heard a politician say some crazy shit like that before up here. But
we got some crazy politicians in Saskatchewan and Alberta and I was just listening to a doctor on YouTube who said he's afraid to come into Canada because some of the laws we have. So it's a crazy world we live in right now. It's a crazy world.
I don't know what algorithm he's on. There's not much to be scared of. What is a bad maple syrup? Like, what are you scared of?
Yeah, freedom of speech is a different thing. It's a complicated thing nowadays. It's a complicated thing nowadays.
Oh, I thought it was something else. Okay, yeah. We could go down that road. That could be a whole other podcast.
No road.
No road there. No road. I'm not a political guy.
No, either am I. Wow. Yeah, I don't want to go there. All right, speaking of that, let's go down another road, and we're going to go down a road of questions that I have for you boys. So today, it was yesterday, I came home, and my daughter was given a Barbie dream house set from an auction from her auntie, and so they brought that home. Oh, boom, it's a Christmas tree box full of this Barbie dream house, right? So yesterday I decided, you know what, I'm gonna put it together with her. It's gonna be fun, right? So I open it up. Oh, no, there's no instructions. This is a Barbie dream house, okay, with no instructions. So
that's crazy.
So I'm YouTubing. I got this and that, and I got it all put together. But then, I got this like little cramp in my wrist. It's in my forearm, right? So it's like, okay, am I just getting old here? Like, what's going on here? My arm's a little bit sore, and it's not like sore when you were 15, 16 years old. It was like, you know what I mean?
Grandpa Simpson?
Well, yeah, it was like, Grandpa Simpson sore. So I was wondering, boys, do you guys get anything for this wrist over here from the Barbie Dream House? Anywhere I could go? Anywhere you boys know?
Oh, me and A-Rod was at a spot the other day.
What's that?
Yeah. Popeyes, man.
Yeah.
Popeyes supplements. For any of your sore wrist pains, I'm sure they have some ointments for that. So, thanks, boys. Thanks for the suggestion. And you know what that means? That means this is another segment of this or
that.
That. All right. So we're going to stay in Florida. We're going to stay down there. We're going to stay safe at the border. And we are going to start off with we're going to start off with a big bout here, a street fight. And we're going to go old school with kind of old school. All right, a couple of heavyweights here, boys. In this corner, we got Chocolate Thunder. We got Daryl Dawkins, rest in peace.
Yes.
Rest in peace, all those.
Very underrated. Doesn't get enough flowers.
No, he doesn't. That's why I want to give it right here. Daryl Dawkins, the reason I have him up, he was born in Orlando, Florida. So that's why he is on this list.
Born in the swamp.
Yeah, man. So I didn't know that. He was born in Orlando. So we got Daryl Dawkins on this side against the big Dwight Howard.
Don't party with this man. Just, have a drink and go about your business.
Keep it basketball, man.
Keep don't party with this man. Okay, we just end the pod now.
Have a drink, you know what I'm saying? Shake hands, say all right, man.
Yeah.
Nice, have a nice night.
And if you don't know, don't look it up, man.
Yeah, Diddy parties, man. There it is, there.
Keep it real. Keep it real corporate,
Yeah, exactly. Like, Dwight, no, we're stopping at one drink. Dwight, stop it, Dwight. I'm not throwing in genuine. Dwight, slow down. Anyways, this is a street fight now. We got Daryl Chocolate Thunder versus Dwight Howard with his sore glutes.
Listen, I don't even know what Dwight Howard is going to be doing in this street fight, but I'll tell you what, man. I'm taking Daryl Dawkins. This is the easiest pick I ever made on this podcast.
Okay, easiest pick.
Easiest. You know why I'm going to say this?
Why?
Because the way you just described Dwight Howard, this is a fight to the death. Daryl Dawkins, they're going to have to kill this man. Because if he loses, man, this man is dead. Life ain't worth it after that,
man. Dwight's looking forward to this fight too. Chocolate Thunder. Oh, really?
Chocolate Thunder. That's, man. He's gonna slaughter this man. I'm going with Daryl motherfucking Dawkins.
Absolutely. What?
He was one of the most powerful dunkers I've ever seen.
Ever.
I just seen highlights, but yeah, him and Dominique Wilkins and Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
right
man.
there, like that is power dunking right there. This was a very strong individual in an era where you played with some dudes that would be playing linebacker and tight end in the NFL were playing basketball back in his era, and so Daryl Dawkins for sure.
He tore down rims too, literally shattered glass. He was always sharp dressed, slick. He seemed like a real gentleman too, and from the interviews I'd seen, and he just. He didn't, and you said it too. He didn't get enough flowers, and but when I saw his name pop up, born in Orlando, I said, "Oh no, we got to get this guy on." We haven't spoke on him before on any of the pods, so easy for me too. I mean, come on, Dwight's just gonna come in. He's gonna think it's some other party, and Daryl's gonna be like,
Boom.
Just one shot, boom,
It's
done.
over.
It's over. Yeah, Superman, really? Come on, man. That drove me crazy. I remember that dunk contest with Dwight when he put the Superman cape on. I was like, no.
I remember thinking, man, Shaq, you being kind of hard on this dude. Pause. Like,
No.
he just trying to. He's obviously looking up to you. He obviously just looking up to you. Like, why you so mean to Dwight Howard? And
Yeah.
years later,
We know.
Shaq was like, I don't like this dude. I don't like this dude. And we're like, okay, Shaq, we get
Relax,
it.
But now we get it. Yeah, Shaq was right. Shaq was right.
Kobe didn't like him either. Kobe didn't get along with Dwight Howard either.
There wasn't a lot of people that liked him. You know what I mean?
I mean, he got his nuts right on Dwight Howard's head, man. Hit him with the paws on that
Say
one dunk,
what?
man. Yeah, on that dunk. You don't remember that?
Yeah.
That was one of the best in-game dunks ever, man.
Yeah. So that was a clean sweep, boys. That wasn't even a question. Now this one's gonna be fun. So we'll stay in Orlando, okay? If you had to, so you're starting an expansion team. Adam Silver comes up to you and says, "Okay, we're gonna put a team. We're gonna put a team in Scarborough. No, we're gonna put a team in Brampton. We're gonna call them.
Whoa.
We're
Whoa.
gonna call them teams coming to Brampton.
The
And,
NBA's coming to the hood.
yeah,
Let's
man.
go.
It's coming to Peel, right? So Brampton. So here we go. You need a coach, and they're giving you two options. One of the Van Gundy brothers. You got Stan as an option to start your Brampton team. Jeff or Stan. Which one you got? Jeff Van Gundy, the big boy, or Stan Van Gundy, the little
Jeff.
boy?
I know who I'm picking. All
All right,
Jeff
A-Rod,
all
who
day.
you got, man?
Jeff all day, man.
Boy,
Van
Jeff.
Gundy. Stan Van Gundy don't even know what he's talking about, man. You ever listen to this guy on a commentary?
Yeah, it's a
He
little
got
weird.
no idea what he's saying, man.
He's a little strange.
And after one season, man, nobody's gonna respect him. So Jeff all day.
A little strange, he is, right?
Don't
He's
get
like
me
a-
wrong. I got love for Stan,
Yeah.
but holy shit, his commentary is like, roll your eyes, bro.
Yeah, he goes off sometimes.
It's pretty much a tie between him and what's that other woman that commentates? Not Doris Burke. I like Doris.
I like Doris.
Oh, everybody loved Doris.
What's her? Beth Mons or whatever her name is. That,
Oh, yeah,
that chick,
yeah.
man. Just Jesus Christ, man. I might as well sit me aside like 10 magic bullets and turn them all on. Like, it's equally as bad, man.
All right, so you went with Jeff Van Gundy. What about you, Max? Who you got, Jeff or Stan? I think I already know, but
I'm definitely going with Jeff. I love Stan the Man Van Gundy. He makes me laugh. He's so funny.
yeah.
But I laugh at him though. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
know.
so he would get chewed up in Brampton. He'd get his car stolen every day. He'd be getting bullied. Oh
Yeah.
man, like he would not know how to navigate in Brampton. But Jeff, playing in New York, dealing with all of those guys. Yeah, like
He would be good as the coach of Brampton, huh?
yeah.
I see
He
it.
would fit in. He would fit into that atmosphere.
With that mustache and everything. Yeah.
You
All
know,
right,
he
cool.
Talk to the right guys. Make sure they don't mess everything up. He knows the
Yeah.
politics of those type of areas. Whereas Stan would just be blindsided by all these kinds of things and complain about it, and then we laugh at it. You know?
Okay, cool. So 2-0 for Jeff. I really dug it when Stan went in on that Miami New York fight and grabbed
Yeah.
on
He got in there. He got in the mix, man.
I mean, look at that picture. There's so many legends right there. You got Tim Hardaway, Morty,
Ray.
Allen
Oakley,
Houston.
Allen Houston. You got
Houston.
PJ Brown on the other side of that.
Yeah.
team, too.
Crazy.
Like,
And then
Crazy.
Stan Van Gundy on his leg, Morning's leg. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't thinking about the '90s that much, but the "we're done with the '90s" trend has made me nostalgic in the last few days. That picture is great right there.
yeah, it's classic. It's classic.
there's so you got commercials on all those guys too, like the Allen Houston one where he's on fire and the sprinklers start coming on.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, yeah.
And he was wasn't he in Black and White? That movie?
that's a good question. I don't know.
And that's a bunch of Woo guys were in there too.
Yeah.
That was Allen Houston was really cool for a hot second. Kind of like
I was
Penny.
a fan of Allen Houston, man. I was a big fan of Allen Houston. For Jeff Van Gundy, the thing I like about Jeff Van Gundy is, remember, not to go back to Dwight Howard again because we don't want to go there, but the way he handled the Dwight Howard drama. You remember that?
Stop on stand. Yeah,
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
you remember how he handled that,
that
and
was
so we all
awkward.
didn't know what was really going on, and Jeff obviously knew something was going on and something wasn't right. The way he handled it, I just thought he was a soldier, and and if we're gonna stick to this narrative that he's gonna be coaching out here in Brampton or Toronto, whatever, Stan, I don't think would be able to handle. So I completely agree with both of you on this one. I like Stan though. I think Stan, he reminds me of like a character off like a Netflix crime, true crime series, docu-series. He looks like one of those guys.
Right, hold on. You're talking about Jeff right now, right?
No, I'm talking about Stan right now. It looks like a Netflix sort of
Oh, that's
like.
Jeff, though, no?
That's Jeff.
Oh, sorry,
that's
I get
Jeff.
both. That's Jeff.
Yeah,
and that's I got
confusing
both of them wrong. Stan's,
Stan the man is the
big one.
fat, frustrated
Yes.
one.
I'm going with Stan. Obviously, I'm going with Stan. The way Stan.
You going with
handled
Stan?
Dwight Howard. Yeah, I'm going with
Yeah,
Stan.
because Stan's got that just flustered.
Yeah.
He's always looking, but he's an honorable cat though. 'Cause
So wait a second.
Pat Riley,
You
when Pat
two are
Riley
going
kicked
with
him out,
Jeff?
Yeah.
we're going with Jeff.
Little Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff from New York, the Knicks. when he got
Yeah,
into
you're
the
not
fight,
going
yeah.
with Stan. I'm going
No,
with
we're
Stan.
not going with
man.
Stan. We're not going
You
with
on your own
Stan.
with this one, man.
I was wrong with the names the whole time. I thought we all agreed here, so I thought, oh man, no, I'm going with Stan. I'm going against you boys. I'm putting Stan out in Brampton, man, with the mustache. See how he handles himself, man. I don't know. I just think he's a deer in the headlights with Jeff. I think Jeff's the one deer in the headlights. I don't know. I like both of them.
Okay,
though,
so you reading them completely different.
Yeah,
me
I
and,
am.
Me and
Yeah.
A-Rod thinks Jeff would be perfect.
No, I think they're both good, but I'm with big man Stan.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I ended at that. All right. Here's a cool one, man. We're staying in Orlando.
Speaking of Ron DeSantis, Stan is a big enemy of Ron DeSantis. He was out there doing politics in Florida, trying to
Was
fight
he?
back against Ron. Yeah. He didn't do too well, but he's fighting a good fight against Mr. Ron DeSantis out there. So those
I
guys
like it.
So that's a little cool connection right there.
I like that. Good. All right. If you had to choose, boys, no injuries, no drama, just straight skill and just straight entertainment on the basketball court, who do you got? You got the duo of Penny and Shaq?
This ain't even a question.
I said, man, this ain't even.
you
Look
got
at A-Rod. He said
Kobe
this ain't
and
even
Shaq.
a question.
Oh, you got
man.
Kobe and Shaq. Which
Yes.
duo do you got? Penny and Shaq
Man.
or Kobe and Shaq?
Come on,
What do you
man.
got?
Come on, man. You know already who's hanging up on
I
my
know,
wall
I
right
know,
now,
I
man.
know.
You gotta talk to me about, like, come on,
Well, hit
man.
me, A-Rod. Who do you got? Who do you
A-Rod.
got?
This is like, come on. This is Shaq in his prime, man. This
Yeah,
is Penny,
man.
like one of the greatest guards of all time.
Great
Like-
point.
Like he was the original, like, well, not the original because he still had Magic, but he was one of the original, like, big guard. You
Yes.
know, he ran
Yeah.
Memphis, man. Like Memphis State was like indebted to this guy, man.
Yeah.
Like just
Yeah.
that was the era, man. And those little penny commercials, come on, man.
Oh,
Yep,
man.
and his sneaker game, the foams, the penny
Yeah.
ones, penny
Oh,
twos.
man. Yeah, I've already told that story twice on this pod. I'm not going to say it a third time. But getting
He
those
was
shoes.
dating Tyra when she was super bad.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that was when Tyra was like Tyra
Yeah,
Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition,
she was
man.
super bad then those
Like,
times.
goddamn.
Those are the Fresh Prince
That was the
days.
reason, like, when you were a kid, you go to the library and try and search out that magazine, man.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
And you're just like, oh, fuck, man. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Talking about Popeye's wrist pain. Whoa,
Yeah.
hey.
Hey,
Whoa.
hello.
So you obviously got Shaq and Penny then. That's no question. How about you, Max? You got Penny and Shaq or Shaq and Kobe? What was the better duo?
Oh, man, what was the better duo?
In your mind, like your opinion, obviously.
I'ma
The big
go-
stats.
I'm gonna go with Kobe and Shaq
Kobe and Shaq.
because of the crazy stories I heard about the streets being angry with Kobe when Shaq got traded.
Right.
And Shaq having to put word out on the streets to leave Kobe alone. I said, what is going on? But
Wow.
NWA did show us it's crazy out there, and there are many rappers that have gone to California and not come back. And
Mm,
so when you think about it like that, that's not that crazy. But this the relationship with Kobe and
wow.
Shaq in LA was bigger than life. And you couldn't even put it in a movie.
No, you're right. You're
So I
right.
feel like it's so intense and that relationship was so intense, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm going with that.
Legendary.
Legendary duo right there.
Man, I like both.
Mm.
Penny and Shaq.
Who
I'd
don't
say,
yeah. Come
yeah,
on, man. You gotta break the tie right here, Poe. This is big
yeah.
shit right here.
Well, like I said, with no injuries, no drama, just straight. It's either I got Shaq and Kobe, or I got Penny and Shaq. And I just remember, oh man, who do I go with here? I like both of your points, man. Oh, I'm gonna have to go with, you know what? I hate the whole shit that went down with Shaq and Kobe, where they were talking so much shit about each other and all that shit that came
Bro,
out in the
Kobe, how's
Shaq
my ass
documentary.
Kobe.
taste?
Kobe
Yeah,
called him out in the interrogation room, baby.
and then the Shaq documentary where they were talking about like all that other like inside stuff.
Oh,
I was like,
Shaq had diss songs and stuff. It was
yeah, yeah. So, but I said no drama, so I'm just gonna
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about.
Basketball.
I'm gonna go with. Gonna go with. I'm gonna go with if Kobe didn't do it. If Kobe didn't do it without Shaq, I'm going Penny and Shaq. But since Kobe did it without Shaq, I got my respect level went much higher for Kobe after that. So I'm the fact that those two were together. I'm gonna have to go with those two. I didn't see enough years with Penny and Shaq. They didn't get enough for me to have the signed, sealed, and delivered case closed. Even though I wish they did, and I think it would end
Hmm.
up being the better duo. I think in time, if they would have had just as much time, no energy, or sorry, no injuries and no drama, I think it would have ended up being the better duo. But I'm gonna have to go Kobe and Shaq.
Woo, that was
I
a
know
tough
Kobe and
one.
Shaq. That was very tough. I hate that question actually. I didn't like that one. I thought it was gonna be more fun, but that racked my brain. I don't like that one. That one hurt. Oh man, love them both though.
Yeah, great duos. Young
Yeah,
Shaq was a monster.
a
I don't even think
monster.
these youngins really know about Young Shaq. They see highlights of him in LA, but do they really
Yeah.
have highlight reels of Shaq when he was
Oh,
in Orlando?
Oh,
Do
with
people
Nick
really know about that
Anderson,
Shaq? Yeah,
uh,
Nick Anderson before
Dennis
his heart
Scott.
broke.
3D, Dennis Scott,
Yeah,
3D.
3D,
yeah. Oh
rapping
man,
on NBA Inside stuff.
man with Ahmad Rashad. Yep.
Uh-huh.
Shaq walked so Pat Garrity could run.
Oh man, that was amazing. I hated Pat Garrity,
I know,
man.
that's why I had to bring it up.
Oh god, I hated watching. He was one of my worst. I hated him so much. He was on my list of he's in with Ben Simmons with me. Pat Garrity, even though he didn't do anything, he just bothered me. I just couldn't stand the sight of Pat Garrity. Just
You should get him on the pod, man. I want to see
oh
if he
man,
can
we
even
could
last.
amend this. All right, let's get to shout outs. So another guy I didn't know that was born in Orlando, Florida was Wesley Snipes, and you had just mentioned Wesley
Okay.
Snipes the other day, Max. So Nino Brown,
Wesley Snipes
oh
was a
man.
hero, man. Like his movies, and
man,
before he
Art of
fell out,
War.
before he went to jail, he was like Blade.
Yeah, U.S.
yeah,
Marshals. U.S.
Yeah, U.S.
Marshals.
Marshals was
Art of
crazy.
War.
Coming to
Art of
America, he
War,
was in there.
Yeah.
Where else?
man.
Yeah, he had a lot.
Oh,
White Man
hold on.
Can't Jump.
Demolition Man?
Yeah.
Simon
Demolition
Phoenix?
Man.
Simon
Yep,
Phoenix. Right?
yep. Demolition Man for sure, for sure. Great
Ah,
white man can't jump. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I
man,
didn't believe that movie, not for a second. I'm like, I didn't believe what's his name,
Woody?
Woody. I didn't believe for a second Woody knew how to play any basketball. So that movie kind of, I was like,
oh yeah.
yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't know what it was.
You-
I don't know.
They never really had him like balling like that though. He was really just kind of a jump shooter
Yeah.
and more of
Still didn't believe it though.
You still didn't believe it, huh?
No, I still didn't believe
I
he
like
could hit
I
a
like
jumper.
I liked Woody Harrelson back in the day, so I didn't bother me.
I heard a story about there was this girl I was dating a long time ago who used to party with a lot of dudes, and Woody Harrelson used to come to Toronto. Not to put you out on blast, Woody, if well, whatever, man, this is the truth. And Woody would come here and party like around the TIFF time or whatever. Party, I guess he was just whacked on the yayo all
Oh
day.
Oh.
Side
Yeah.
note, did you know
Yeah.
that Woody Harrelson's father
Mm.
was an assassin for the mob,
No, didn't know that.
Yeah, I knew that.
Did
and he
not know that.
suspected, you know, there's all kind of suspects, but suspected to be caught up in the Kennedy assassination. Not
All right, I
actually
like White
shooting,
Man Can't Jump. Now he
not
does have a
actually
jumper.
shooting or anything like that, but you know, kind of on the side and you know.
There you go.
But yeah, like his dad was.
Oh, I
It's
get it
interesting.
now.
It's
Okay, I get it
interesting.
now. He
Why
makes
he's
sense
famous?
to me now. No, he just makes sense to me now. Okay, is it just the way he is? I get it now. Okay, cool. You know, it is believable now. All right. And last shout out, you think of Orlando, you think of Amway. Now, the
Amway.
reason I bring up Amway is because it's jokes, because my dad joined Amway back in the day after my mom and dad got divorced, and I just remember him trying to sell that on everybody. He's like, and his line was, he would call up like my friends' dads on the phone, and he'd be like, his first question he would ask about trying to sell Amway, he'd be like, "You like to make money?" and then I'd hear him say, "Well, you do like to make money, huh? Well, do you use toothpaste?" I was like, "Oh, you do use toothpaste, huh? Well, Amway has toothpaste, and Amway can make you a lot of money. Why don't you come join my squad?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, that got a lot of people and a lot of mess, Amway, man. But they made a lot of money, so shout out to Amway."
Amway.
Yeah. All right, that was another edition of This or
That.
Yes, brought to you by Popeyes Supplements. All right, boys, let's go around the NBA before we wrap this one up. I have a couple of notes. Isaiah Thomas just signed a 10-day with the Suns. He's not going away. What do you think, boys? What do you think? You think he's got a chance to make some moves in the NBA again?
I think realistically, he'll take more shots than KD did today. Because I never seen KD play 40 minutes, and this man took 10 shots in 40 minutes. Royce O'Neal, who else was it? Like some other bum on their team. Took
Grayson Allen.
Yeah, Grayson Allen hit like 7 threes or 8 threes.
Yeah,
or
he's
whatever.
playing well this year.
Like, I don't even know. KD, man, you know, it's a little bit of a side note, right?
No.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this about KD. I think KD is probably one of the best offensive players I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I might even say he's the best offensively skilled player I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy is such a weird personality, man. He always needs to like get some sort of like affirmation or like some sort of love from everybody when he doesn't need it, man. He always just craves it. Like, just a weird dude, man. He's the type of dude that like he does a performance like this, and then you'll go on Twitter and be like, "Why am I not the GOAT? Why am I not in this conversation?" Because of shit like this, KD. Like, you don't go to Milwaukee and take 10 shots and play 40 minutes and then ask people why you're not the GOAT, man.
Right.
That shit's crazy to me, man.
He's a glorified, super glorified role player. He's the best role player in the history of basketball, past, present, and future.
That's a big
Wow.
statement.
That is a huge statement.
In OKC, he was not the leader. In Golden State, he said, you can go look it up. He said, I'm glad I'm not the leader. You know?
Yeah,
That's true.
yeah.
Let Steph deal with that. That's a quote. Let Steph deal with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Then he went to Brooklyn. He was not the leader. In Phoenix, he's not the leader.
Man, you're right.
Yeah, that's true. I guess.
OKC, he was never the leader.
No.
With all those guys, yeah.
Like, we thought Westbrook was just a selfish, greedy guy, but no, he's this dude's scared. That's what it was.
In
That's
those
what it
days,
was.
that narrative really wasn't out there. I don't remember that narrative being out there about Westbrook and the OKC days.
Only Skip Bayless was on that narrative. Everyone else was
which is like,
really
this guy's crazy, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, like, Kevin Durant is very skilled, but he's never going to say, "Hey boys, come follow me." He's not that guy.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It feels wrong to talk down about him, but then at the same time, it kind of makes sense to be like, well, he's not in that bucket of those greats for me, like in those top greats. He's not.
It's a weird.
It is weird, yeah.
Yes, he has a unique place in basketball.
Yeah,
he's not a Del Curry or anything like that. He's way above anything like that. Even though Del Curry is a legend in his own kind of way, he's not a Jamal Crawford.
He's not he's not a Kobe. He's not Kobe.
He's not Kobe. He's not. He's not that.
He's just,
who he is?
Really
he's Devin Booker too. Yeah, he's in that. Devin
Yeah,
Booker's
Devin
in that
Booker is
same.
in that same space. Like a few years from now, Devin Booker will be right where KD is. Like,
Yeah.
what is this dude? He's not trash, but he's definitely not up on that upper echelon.
No, what were we gonna say, Era? Sorry, I
No, I
cut
was
you
just
off.
gonna say like, kind of all these points we're making. They're all pretty good points because you watch KD and it's like you're mesmerized that this
Yeah.
such lanky, tall dude with guard handles can just pull up from anywhere on the court and make it look so easy and so smooth. And he's such an underrated defender when he actually dials it in. He's a really good defender. But other than that, it's like you don't know what it is about him because he's not a killer.
No,
Like he
he's
has
not.
moments where he looks like it, but generally he's not. It's and then then he goes and does like the kind of LeBron thing where he cries about it online, and then
Yeah.
he'll
Oof.
like bash other people about it.
Yeah.
Twitter
And be like-
KD is hard to love. Twitter.
yeah, I know. It's just like he's weird, man. Like it's like you want to like this guy so much, but he's just a strange dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best way to stay a fan of KD is don't follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, I haven't gotten
Just
into,
watch him as a basketball player because he
Yeah.
will try and push you away on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, wait, there was another note that came out today. Coach Nick Nurse over in Philly says he's pretty confident that Embiid will be back before the playoffs. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Do you think Embiid come back? Is that going to make a
cares?
huge? Yeah.
You don't
Not
think it's
gonna
gonna
win.
work, A-Rod?
They're not gonna win, so who cares? I said it from the start, like from before the season even started.
Uh-huh.
Nick Nurse cannot win. With
He
that
cannot
team.
win.
He cannot win with that team.
Wow.
I'm sorry. He got lucky with Kawhi. You take
Yeah.
away
Kyle-
that shot in round 2, Raptors are like Nick Nurse is a nobody. What has he done after that?
Ugh.
What has he
Dang.
done after that?
Mm-hmm.
The box and one defense. That's it. Like, are you kidding me, man?
What's that called? Janky D,
Kawhi
janky.
brought us to that championship.
You talk about a killer.
That's
Right
a
there.
real like,
That's a
player,
real
man. That's
killer
a
right
real
there.
killer, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Without injuries, this guy is in the upper
Shout out.
echelon of whatever you want to put this guy in, right?
Shout out
That's
to
what-
Kyle Lowry too. Kyle Lowry was
Yeah,
a big
yeah.
part of that too.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah.
But like Kawhi made everybody play better than what they were. Too.
Yeah, Kawhi did exactly what we haven't seen KD do yet.
No,
No.
we
We
don't
even
make
seen-
anybody better.
We even seen Dirk finally do it
Yeah.
and beat LeBron in them. He beat
Yeah.
LeBron in them. Shit.
This guy made
You know what
JJ
I mean? Like-
Barea outscore LeBron.
And he
Like-
was the leader. He was the guy that we looked at like, yeah, you nice, but what are you really? What you
man.
really doing out here?
You
And then
boys are on it, man. You boys are on it. Real leaders make guys like Judd Bushler look good. You know what I mean? Tony Kukoc go to the Hall
I mean,
of
look
Fame.
at the role players on the Bulls, the big men on the Bulls.
Bill Wennington
Yes.
look good. Luke Longley.
Ron
look
Harper,
good.
man.
Yeah,
Ron
Ron Harper
Harper.
at the end of his career when he was like,
Come on, man. Exactly. So, and that's why Jalen Rose a couple days ago said he posted the question. He said, "Do you think that number 23 should be retired altogether in basketball and nobody can
yeah,
wear
like
number
like
23?"
Jackie Robinson, like Wayne Gretzky. It should
Like,
be
what do
like
you
that.
think? Let's end on that question. What do you think? What do you think of that question? Should the
Absolutely.
NBA just completely retire 23? Nobody touch it.
Yeah, I
It
don't
should
think
have
there's
been like
anybody
that.
ever good enough to wear that number again.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
should have been like that. It should have
Yeah.
been like that. Like I hear people say, he should be the logo. No, that's too much money and copyright and big business. But retiring his number, yes, that's definitely something Jordan deserves.
Because it is kind of disrespectful when you see a certain player wearing 23, even though it's
It-
paying homage, but it's like it's beyond that with him.
It feels weird. It feels just
yeah.
wrong.
Yeah. So then we're all in agreement. They should retire 23.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get it. All right, boys. Well, that was fun. Let's even though I got Jeff and Stan completely mixed up on that one, I'll have to do some better. Anyways, yeah. So I'm going
I
with
was
it's
calling,
Stan is the sweaty one, right? No, Jeff is the sweaty one. The big fat
Stan
sweaty
the
one.
man.
Stan.
Stan the man is
Stan
the
is-
sweaty one.
God damn.
Jeff,
Yeah.
And Jeff is the skinny, lost in the
Okay.
lights.
So I went with Stan, and I still go with Stan. I put my
Okay.
flag.
Shout out
in.
to Stan the man Van Gundy.
Yeah, so we started with a wise guy quote. Well, let's go back to Jimmy Hoffa to end this one, okay? I got one more quote for you guys and everybody listening to go home and start your week off with, okay? And think about this when I say it. You could really think about it because it kind of encapsulates. This was way back when he said this, Jimmy Hoffa. And you know, it's true now. And you know what? If we can go back to these days where there was a little bit more respect, there was a little bit more, my word is my bond, a little bit more eye contact meant something, you know, things I think could be a little better in this world that's gone a little bit fucking crazy. So let's end it with this Jimmy Hoffa gem right here. He said, in the olden days, all you needed was a handshake. Nowadays, you need 40 lawyers. And this was another episode of the Sportitos Toronto Raptor Podcast. And I'm your host, Mr. Hoopo, with the other hosts, Max P and A.Rod. We want you to hit subscribe and like. And wherever you're watching this podcast or listening to this podcast, listen to the old ones. Listen to all of them. And go on YouTube and hit like and subscribe. Bye-bye.